Hey, cousins, and welcome back to another episode of Be So For Real, the podcast. If you're new here, welcome, family. Come on in and join us. This is season 1, episode 2, you guys. And we are still here with your host, Markayla Jamesia.
And Marquila Lachelle. What's going on?
It's a good day. We are on episode 2.
Episode 2.
Yes.
Season 1.
Season 1.
We're coming in hot, though.
You know what I'm saying?
I think we got a good thing going. I mean, the first episode, of course, y'all just had to get to know your host. So it was very, neutral. But now we're starting to bring in the heat.
We got the topics.
We got the topics. We got some good things to talk about. Some people going to be coming in soon. So we are really getting this thing together for y'all.
For sure. For sure. What's up, cousins?
All of our cousins. Y'all come in, sit down, put us on your TV screen or your phone screen, whichever one. We are so glad to have y'all with us again for episode 2. Okay?
Okay.
And we bringing in the energy.
Okay.
We are bringing in, we got our pink on, and we glowing over here. But listen. We got some good things for y'all today. What we talking about today?
So, if you know, we did a poll on Facebook to see what y'all wanted us to talk about next. And the topic that won for today is relationships, love, and family dynamics, you guys. So, okay.
So many people. Okay.
Please, music. What?
Cue the music.
Cue the music. Cue the music.
Yes.
Okay. But yeah, so let's get into it.
Let's dive deep in. So the first one that we had was love itself. So what is love to you? We can start there.
I feel like it's so cliche, but literally, like, people be like, love is like a verb.
Yes. At the church, when we grew up, love is
what love does.
Listen, it's so simple.
Seriously, though.
That's exactly what it is.
You feel the same way?
I feel the exact same way. That's exactly what it is. Plain and simple. Love is what love does.
Literally.
But I do feel like, as far as love, we have experienced so many things where some people feel like if you're not verbally saying, I love you, then it's not love. But you have some people who have, like me, I have grown up with being shown love, but not being said, I love you as much.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that I didn't feel like I wasn't loved.
Right.
Like I knew that I was, because I was seeing what it was done. So
I feel like both are like equally important, though.
Definitely.
Like, I definitely feel like for on one end, you can't just always tell me that you love me.
Definitely.
And don't show me that you love me. But on the other end, you can't always show me and not tell me, because I feel like sometimes, like, as humans, like, we need to hear it too.
We definitely need to hear it.
You know what I'm saying?
And of course, as women, anyways, too. I feel like some men too, but mainly women, we love that reassurance.
Gotta have it.
Like,
gotta have it. I'm so needy.
Cause I be the type. I be the type sometimes, like, you don't love me.
You don't love me.
You don't love me, do you?
I say that all the time. If you don't love me, just say that.
You can't.
Stop it. They be like, wow, I just did this for you. Yeah, but you didn't tell me. You did not tell me that you love me.
You don't.
Stop lying.
You? How can you?
How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you?
You know what? I am really at the point now to where I'm becoming more vocal of what I need. And I be needing it.
That's super important.
I need to hear that I love you, because I have seen how I am storing that into my son, because I grew up not hearing it from like the whole family. It was like, it was, I don't know, like awkward to say it out loud.
Yes.
Like everybody knew it, but it just made me so upset once I got older, and like, I don't even remember the last time somebody verbally in my family said, I love you.
But wow, though, like, I'm just sitting here just thinking about it, and I feel like at this age now, like, I've just gotten to a point where before I get off the phone, I'm like, okay, love you, bye.
Yes.
Because, wow, I don't know what's going to happen when I hang up this phone with you.
Listen.
Girl.
Hear me. Hear me when I say.
Love you.
You're gonna hear me say, love you.
Okay.
And then sometimes it has gotten to where, like, I don't even have to say it to people who are close knit. I could be starting to talk to you for maybe like a week, and then it might slip out. Okay, love you, bye.
But it's not on some like, and it's not always on a like, oh wow, like I love you, like love you. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, yeah. But like, listen, friend, I love you, friend. I love you though.
As a human,
take care of yourself,
please, please, for real.
Why is that so fast? Please.
Listen.
Take care of yourself.
In the world that we living in now, real talk.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You could be talking to somebody today and gone tomorrow.
Wow. Not even tomorrow. Next few minutes.
More of the story.
Cousins.
Love
you. Mean it.
Tell your people you love them. Okay?
Listen. Please.
And it goes such a long way, because the same way that we feel, other people feeling the same thing.
Yeah.
They're not being told that, or they probably don't even feel it. And you know, these days it's so, I don't want to just say bad, but we are receiving more love from strangers than we are from the people that's really close knit to us.
Wow.
More love, more support, more encouragement, more motivation. Like, it be those strangers.
The strangers who don't even know you. Don't get me, listen, I do hair. Don't get me started.
That will pour into you.
Do not get me started on that topic.
And then you go back in your context and be like, darn, I ain't heard from such and such in so long.
But on the other end of that, though, too, I feel like it's very important for people to understand, hear me clearly, it's not always about you. Okay? True. Like, that's a whole thing. Because True. You may not have heard from me today. It ain't about you, honey. I got so much going on.
I got
all
these bills.
Please. Give me some grace.
I got all these bills. Listen, life.
Be lifing. Ooh.
Love you still.
Love you mean it.
Love you still.
But listen.
Every day I can't.
It's not always about you. I still love you.
Listen, we got this podcast, and in the beginning when we was trying to plan, we was talking a lot. We barely making it now.
Wow.
When we record, okay, be there. Love you, bye.
Girl, the phone tag, we played phone tag the other day like nobody's business. Like, kept missing each other. I'd be like, she'll call me, miss it. I call her back. She don't answer. We just going back and forth. Till at one point we was like, okay, so what we needed.
Right.
Cool. Talk to you later. I got stuff to do.
See you when I see you.
See you Tuesday. See you Tuesday.
I'm telling you, but you know, that's still love though. Like,
no, yeah.
But you know, it's a lot of things where you have people who are very, very needy. That needs more of you being present like every day.
Yeah.
And I can't be there all the time.
Wow, I thank God for my friends.
Me too.
I thank God for my friends because they already know.
My girls know. If I go MIA, if I get to hide, if I go hibernate, it's nothing against nobody. See y'all when I come out.
I'm not mad at you, sis.
Most of the time, I'm probably cooking up a master plan.
Okay? I'm not mad at you at all. My friends know that, and I thank God for them. I have a friend right now that I actually consider a sister. I may talk to her 3 times out of the year.
Me too.
But when I see her...
You remember when class reunion and I cried when I saw Misha?
Absolutely.
Wow, I see her like twice a year.
Wow, love her though.
Love her bad. Love her bad. She has life be life in.
Stephanie, I love you. It ain't never no bad energy. We pick up right where we left off.
And I love having something to catch up on.
Girl, cause tell me about your life.
All that done happened in how long?
Girl, you what? Wow.
See, now we got something to talk about. See, if I talk to you every day,
we done ran out.
I know what you ate yesterday. Wore yesterday. Where you going tomorrow? I don't.
Please.
You know, so, I mean.
Hey. I mean, you know, it is what it is, but I love that. I'm definitely that person where, you don't have to call me every day, and I don't
Yeah.
think anything of it. I just be like, they got stuff going on, because I got stuff going on.
And that's when we said love, you already know that love is there, so you're not thinking of, oh, somebody feels some type of way towards me, or anything like that. And so I think that it's just certain people that we require a little bit more from, which is okay, like from your relationships or your family. Friends, I feel like friendships are so good because you can have that space, that grace.
Yeah.
Give each other that grace.
Yeah.
Even with like family, like with my mom, like my mom knows that I constantly is talking to her, saying different things. So not every time I might just, after every conversation, I love you, because I know I'm gonna talk to her a few more minutes after. But we have gotten to a point now to where my childhood, I love the fact that now that I'm grown, I'm more vocal and speaking out and breaking those barriers of the childhood, of those, I don't want to just say generational curses, because not everything is necessarily a curse. A lot of things just wasn't taught.
Right.
And now that I have my son, I'm pouring into that I love you. I'm pouring into my brother, I love you. So where now I'm seeing it go down the line.
It's like it's a normal thing, because I feel like growing up, it was something that you said, like, it was like something awkward about it, or something that was just like, I don't know if I want to say that. You know what I'm saying? Like
going out the screen though, saying, all right, y'all, bye, going to school, love you.
Literally every single morning that Landon walks out of this house, he's like, all right, love you guys. Have a good day. See you later.
Hugging me and say, I love you.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. And I feel like for my mom as well, like that wasn't something that was normal, like in our household, like growing up. It was never always like, well, I love you. I love you. Even to the point of like hugs. I had to get used to hugs.
Me too.
Like we didn't like, and it wasn't that I thought, well, like, wow, she don't love me, but it was just like, it wasn't a normal thing. Like, that's just not something that we did. And like, so when she had my sister would like hug me. I'd be like, okay. Like,
anybody who knows, like, if it's like a quick look, hey, how you doing? Hug, cool. But when you've been around somebody for like a couple minutes, they just random coming up and hugging you and want to like, hold you. I'd be like, move.
Seriously.
But I'm trying to get better with that, because I want affection. Like I crave affection, but I don't know how to accept or even ask for it. And that's like one of my problems too. We'll get into that when we talk about like relationships and stuff too. But I don't know how to be comfortable with affection, because I never got it. I wasn't being hugged. I wasn't being, like, I guess you could say babied in a way.
Yeah.
Having like that male, like, oh, okay, that's what dad loves feel like. So
yeah.
I don't want that in my relationship.
Yeah.
I didn't have none of that. So I'm really starting all these new traditions, because that's what I say. I'm not breaking generational curses. I'm starting new traditions.
Yeah, I love that.
So everything that I'm starting is new for me, but I'm trying to get like,
you got to get used to it. It's definitely something to get used to. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get to the relationship portion of the show.
So I guess we might as well start tiptoeing into that then.
But let me do this though, because Keela thinks she's slick. She do. And she be trying to throw stuff on me. So
sounds like I need to sleep.
Wow.
Say what?
So we're not doing that today.
Okay. I'm confused.
No, you're not.
What am I doing?
Let's start with you.
Oh.
She do this to me every time. She be like, okay, then. So, nah. Oh. Let's start with you, sis.
Oh, okay, then.
Tell the people.
Oh, okay.
So, now that we know what love means to you, let's talk to the people a little bit. So, is Marquila single?
My blood pressure just went up.
Wow, she's hot.
Yeah, I am.
You are. Mm-hmm. How is that?
Now I can say, all jokes aside, for real, because I had a little tickle box. All jokes aside, seriously.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Singleness for me is something that I'm learning to really be in.
Yeah.
I have been single for 7, almost 8 years now.
Mm-hmm.
MJ's dad passed in 2016. So I'm coming up on 8 years. And within those 8 years, I've had so much going on in life to where I couldn't really focus on being in my singleness, let alone a relationship.
Yeah.
Having my accident took a lot of my years. Even coming out of that, I grieved late.
Yeah.
And I once I healed, depression came after the healing.
Yeah.
Because I was really trying to remember who I was, let alone getting to know the new person. I tiptoed into dating, but I was never intentionally dating.
Yeah.
Just talking to
just
people,
to
experiencing people.
Yeah.
Some were good, some were bad. And then once I did start to meet more people, I started to really see, like, I have never been courted.
Interesting.
Never. Not even just to say how I want, but we are in especially now, in the day and age where we're always talking about the bare minimum, how we're always talking about, girls are accepting this and this and that. But when we actually think about courting, we're not saying courting these days is just like somebody who texts you every morning, good morning. That's not courting. That's just somebody keeping in contact with you.
Yeah.
But like actually somebody who's going out of their way to just say, I'm taking you on a date.
Yeah.
Before we even, start all of this. Like,
wow.
So with courting, I haven't experienced exactly what it feels like to know, like, he's interested in me.
Yeah.
So I need to get myself together because he trying to do something with me.
Yeah.
Other than most of my connections have been, which I do love and I do cherish as well, is having that friendship first. I love having a friendship first.
Yeah.
Because you're getting to know me, everything about me. But I don't want to feel like I'm guessing. Like, do you like me? Or do you, what it is? But that's usually how it ends up. The connection is good, the friendships gets there, and then it's like you can't jump over that hurdle because it's just like either you're not ready or I'm not ready, or I feel like your connection isn't as strong as mine, so I'm like shying away from you. But now I'm in the singleness of knowing that I know exactly what I want now.
Yeah.
And I know when I'm ready to turn my switch on to say I'm intentionally dating. I just don't have, like, I don't want to say contestants. I don't have options. Like, I mean, it's a drought.
Wait a minute. She ain't got no options.
And I don't want no puppy. I want a big dog. I'm just saying.
The big dog's at.
I'm just saying.
My girl said she ain't got no options.
No options. No.
So how do you feel like your past relationships have like affected like where you are today, like with being single, with knowing that you're already like not intentionally dating and things like that? Like, how do you feel like that's affected that?
It has helped a lot.
Okay.
The different situationships or friendships or meeting people has actually helped me so much as far as the woman that I am and the man that I know that I want. Because I have learned from different people. I love being criticized. Like, I might not act like it in the beginning, like have a little attitude, like, man, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. But I still take things with me. And a lot of things that I've learned about myself was being vocal. Yeah. And that was something that I didn't think I needed as much of until now. I didn't think that it was a major issue for me until people started to tell me why you didn't just say that, or why you didn't tell me that that was what you needed, or
we as women, we want somebody to read our mind. Yeah, I had to work on that. We be want somebody to read our mind.
Though. You need to say what you want. You need to say what you need, because if you don't, people are going to give you exactly what they feel like.
Whatever you're allowing.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a distinct difference though. So if you're not in a relationship with someone, and I feel like in that specific moment, in those times, like that's not where you need to be like, oh, I love it when a man or a woman do this for me, and I love it when they do this, and I love that, and because you're like giving them
the sauce.
You're giving them the sauce.
Everything.
They finna win you over because you done told them how to. You done gave them the game plan. You know what I'm saying?
What's left?
Yeah. But once they've shown you whatever they have shown you, and maybe, y'all do decide to move towards that relationship, in that relationship, I think it's very important for you to communicate and voice like, hey, I don't like it when you do this.
Right.
Hey, I would prefer this, like, I feel like that's okay.
And that's why I say I haven't been courted.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't felt like, wow, you did that without me asking. You did that without me saying anything to me. Like, this is how you truly feel about me. Mm-hmm. Like, I want to feel that, I don't know, like I meet somebody and then they just show me the first time.
Yeah. Oof. I love you.
For me.
Wow.
I mean,
I love you.
When it's like no question, like you can't, it's not confusing.
Oh, God is not the author of confusion. I tell my friends that all the time. She's like, oh, but this guy, and da, da, da. God is not the author of confusion. If it is confusing, that is not your man. That is not your man. And again, I say,
okay, then.
That is not your man.
Listen, but that's true though.
Ooh.
No confusion.
No.
I'm talking about comes in, knows, like sees you and say, oh, I'm not finna play with her. Listen, come on over here. Come have a seat. Don't tell me anything. I'm gonna show you.
Oh yeah.
I haven't.
Words mean absolutely nothing to me.
I ain't. Unfortunately. But that doesn't mean that I don't feel like I'm not worthy of that.
Absolutely.
And so that's why it's like I've been saying for a very long time, my next relationship will be my last. So that's my portion. Your girl is single, ready to mingle.
Are you ready to mingle intentionally?
Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. We'll talk about that later. Off camera.
I am.
Okay. I ain't saying nothing.
2025, catch me either, getting into some or already in some.
Okay. You don't have long.
So, hey, Mr. Man.
She want to be dog.
Call me. Yes. So listen, what's up with you?
What?
What's your relationship status?
I am. Okay. You guys, I am taken. I'm off the market.
I'm already taken, girl.
I am off the market. What they be saying? They be like, are you married? You be like, yeah. They be like, are you happily married?
Yes.
I am off the market and I'm happily off the market.
No, I love that for you though.
Oh God, I love it for me too. Shout out to my man.
Oh,
I love him.
I love that kind of care.
Shout out to my man.
I love that kind of care.
Oh, good God Almighty.
I love that man so bad.
I love him.
Yes, I love that for you.
Don't play about my man at all. You can't say nothing to me about him.
So we gonna have to go ahead and pull the cat out the bag because I know the people wants to know
what.
How in the world did you and Kenny become one? I know the people. I'm gonna let y'all be able to come into our lives just a little bit because I know y'all been wondering. I've been new, you know. But I know the streets been talking.
Y'all talking about it?
Mm-hmm. Y'all popped out.
What he be saying? He be like, "Man, the people love this."
They do. It's a thing. It really is.
Well,
yeah, them folks in love. So tell them.
I am.
How? How did y'all come about?
Well,
I'm nervous. And
oh my God. No, but so where do I start? So I will just say this. I will say that Kenny came into my life at a really like hard time for me. Mm-hmm. For those of you who didn't watch the last episode and maybe new, I did speak about it a little bit on the last episode. Just talking about how I am divorced. Okay, so I used to be married and now I'm not. And so he came in at a really hard time for me. And I ain't finna put all my business out there, but you know,
be so for real.
I am, but I just, you know, and when he, at the point in time that he came into my life, like I was freshly out of this last relationship, and I was in my moment of these men ain't gonna ever be able to do me like this again.
Yeah,
like. Period. Like I'm never going through that again. And so I was in my era of dogging these men out.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I had a roster and I talked to my roster every single day.
Wow.
Oh God, it was great.
Wow, I've never had a roster.
Me either until then.
Was it fun?
Well, it was it was interesting. It
was a lot to keep up with.
It was an interesting time.
Okay.
It was an interesting time. It was an interesting time. Okay. And if you was on the roster, shout out to you.
What? Sorry to that man.
Sorry to that man. I wouldn't know that man if I see him.
Sorry to that man
on the street. But yeah, so it was, I was in that moment where I was just like, wow, like this is what I'm doing. Yeah. And this is where I want to be at for a while. Like I don't want no ties to anybody. Like I'm just doing me.
Yeah.
And at my job at the time, here comes Kenny. Like, and again, another side note for those of y'all that don't know, me and Kenny went to school together along with Keela.
Yes.
And so I've known him for a very long time because I don't want y'all to be like, wow, she's crazy. Backstory.
Yeah. Like middle school days.
I've been known him. Okay. And so he came in with some of his friends or whatever, and you know, we was just chatting it up because I hadn't seen him in forever. I was like, wow, look at you. Like, how you been? And he was like, I've been good, you know, da, da, da. And it was some stuff that, you know, that was exchanged. And I thought that he was with this girl. And so I was like, okay, like, that's you? Yeah. Okay, like, I see you, Kenny. He was like, he was like, girl, no.
Well, what you talking about?
Yeah, I was like, oh, excuse me. Like, I thought that was you. My bad. You know, I was congratulating you. And he was like, you know, you in that situation, y'all still going strong. You know, I see. And I was like, no, that's not that anymore. He was like, for real? I was like, no. And so by the end of the night, it ended up just turning into like a, hey, like, get my number. Like, we should catch up, you know, hang out sometime, like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, cool. And then the very next day, like,
he came back.
We were.
For real?
Wow. We were like texting. And I could just tell from the conversation that, because in my mind, it was truly wow, let's catch up, friend.
Yeah.
But the
high school buddy.
Yeah.
Classmate.
Brother. But the text messages were going another way, and I was just like, I said, you trying to me? So y'all, kid you not, I called Keela. I talked to Keela. She ended up coming to get her hair braided, and like during her appointment, I was like, girl, I got something to tell you. Guess who is trying to talk to me? She was like, who? I said, Kenny. She was like, do it.
Hop on that.
I was like, Kenny? She was like, girl, that is a grown man now.
Hop on that.
And all I could remember was like high school stuff. And I was like,
yeah, we is good.
Me and Kenny was like brother and sister in high school.
Is a grown man, good and grown.
Wow. Glad I took her advice.
Because, I was really in that mood and how I am now. Instead of us just being picky about stuff, like just try it. It might be good, it might be bad, and it might be the best thing that ever happened. But we're not gonna know until we try. And y'all, them folks in love.
I love him. Shout out to my man again. Love him. Truthfully, Kenny has taught me so many different things in a short amount of time. So we celebrating a year.
Okay.
It's been my man for a year now.
Period.
But in that year, the year has seemed very short. Like
when you told me a year, last week when we were talking about it's gonna come up the year, I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Girl,
time has flew by.
Like, wow.
But y'all have done so much.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
That has been so happy to even witness.
Like, and we have grown a whole lot. We have grown a whole lot. He has definitely taught me a lot of things that I did not know and have never experienced. And we can even go back to just the beginning. Mm-hmm. And where you were saying, like, I've never been courted. Mm-hmm. Either. Until I met him. Yeah. And it took a lot of getting used to. Yeah. Like, because you think, like, that's what you want. That's what I want. That's what I want. And when it started happening, like, if you've never had that before, you don't know how to take it.
You don't know how to accept it.
It was a time. Like, he asked me out on our first date. And even going on a first date with him was a new experience for me. Mm-hmm. And y'all can talk about me in the comments. I don't care. I don't care. But you gotta know my past relationship. And that's no shade, but you just have to know my past relationship. So even just going on a first date with him, like, we met up at the restaurant or whatever. Doors being open for me, I've never experienced it. Mm-hmm. Like, when I first started talking to him, now sometimes I'm hard-headed and I just do it anyway. When I first started even dating him, I was not allowed to touch a door. Yeah. Like, period. Yeah. You're not opening car doors. You're not opening house doors. You're not opening restaurant doors, store doors, no doors.
As long as he in the atmosphere, you ain't touching
Don't touch no door. That is not your job. Mm-hmm. And even now, like, I have a son. Mm-hmm. He even teaches it to him. He's like, open the door for your mama. Yeah. Open the door for your sister. Like, I went and got my nails done. Landon went with me. He sat by the door while I was getting my nails done. Every woman that walked to that door, they did not have to touch it. He opened it for every single one of them, whether you were coming in or going out. Period. It's y'all man is out there.
But that's something that I can honestly say I pray for. Yeah. For someone who will have a big enough impact on my son. Yeah. Because don't get me wrong, being a single mom, it is a tough decision. Mm-hmm. But you have some people who's just like, oh, I'm a single mom. I do this. Like, I don't want to be one. Like, especially to a young Black man.
Yeah.
There are things that I know for a fact I cannot teach you.
Right.
And you're not going to understand it from my language. It has to be taught from a man. And those are small things like that I cannot wait to see and experience how a man loves me, rubs off on my son for me, respect for me and for the women that's going to come after him, whether it be siblings or who he dates. Because a lot of things has to be shown. That goes back to what we say. Love is what love does.
Truthfully. And I feel like in our culture now, I feel like we're getting better. But specifically in our culture, I feel like Black men are not given enough credit.
No, they're not.
Black men are not given enough credit. Black men have such a huge impact on
and a responsibility.
On us as women, children, like families. Like, Black men are so important. Y'all are so important.
The roles are huge.
Like, you don't even understand. And the absence of y'all has a huge impact. What? Because I know for me, so, and this goes for me and Keela. So we both did not have our dads growing up. So I know for me, my dad passed away. My biological father passed away when I was about 1, I believe, and then
5 for me,
5 for her. And so we grew up without our biological fathers. Along the way for me, my mom did eventually get married again, and I did consider him to be my father as well. And then, they got a divorce, but that didn't, do anything for mine and his relationship. But he still, had his own battles as well. And he just recently passed away, in April for me. So growing up, it was me and my mom. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I seen, and that's all that I knew. Now, and that's just within my household. My grandparents are still together, so I do still have my granddad, stuff like that. But in my household, my mom is what I knew. I, grew up watching her work, umpteen amount of jobs, trying to, make things happen, get me everything that I need, everything that I wanted, missing out on a lot of stuff that took place within my life because she was trying to make sure she made things happen or whatever. And I feel like that had a huge impact on what I grew up knowing.
Yeah.
So even within my first relationship, being married and stuff like that, it was a lot of stuff that I took from her. And that's not to say that it's a bad thing, but that I took from her going into that relationship. Yeah, like, I'm supposed to be strong. I'm supposed to do this. I didn't really give my ex-husband the opportunity to be who he was supposed to be in that relationship, because I'm like, I never seen that. I never had that. I never really knew what to expect when it came to a man being a part of my life. I also feel like on the opposite end, for young men, that also has an effect, because if you don't grow up having that figure to show you what to do, this and that, you're lost.
Yeah, especially when you have a lot of young men who are growing up having that urge of wanting to be different than what they have seen. Because some people have been in the household where they have the 2 parents.
Yeah.
Some people have had a very close relationship with their fathers, but don't want to live the same life as that man, or be like that man.
Exactly.
Who wants to go on their own path of being a totally different man that they've never even met. And I feel like, girl, God is so good. Because that's the only person. Listen, when you have no one else to call on,
girl,
that's the only person that can teach you. Because I feel like that's what I have experienced. Just like we were just saying, us growing up without fathers. I have longed for so long.
Yeah.
Of what does it feel like to have that. And now we're in these days where it's like you see people who have their fathers, and they're like, oh, she's so touchy and feely with her dad and stuff like that. They have their own relationship. She probably received love, affection, all of that. She probably will always be a baby to that man.
Yeah.
Because that's the connection that they have.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have some people who constantly push men to the side because they don't know how to receive love from a man. And so even just me, because a lot of people make it as if like girls don't suffer as much without their father as much as a son does.
Yeah.
When I suffered.
Yeah.
Like even still now to this day, because I don't have any tools. I didn't receive any tools as far as having a father. My father was present in my early years. Then he went out to prison. So few of those years he wasn't there.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he came home, like months later, he passed away. And my very last memory of him was actually me dreaming of him dying at the time that it was happening. So that was my very last moment of my father.
I don't even have a memory. I have no idea. Truth be told, like, I don't know. And I think as I've gotten older, a lot of times as I deal with certain things in my life, like I do have those moments where I'm like, well, I wonder what it would be like if he was here. Like, I wonder if I could have called him, and been like, hey, Dad, what do I? And it's actually crazy that we're talking about this because I seen this thing, I think on Facebook or something like that. There's a guy who also grew up without a father, and he has a YouTube page where you can go and learn how to do certain stuff. And he's like a YouTube dad. He's like, it's like a kind of like Dear Dad thing. Like, like I grew up without a dad. So here's the things that you can learn from me. Like, take it from me.
Wow.
Like how to tie a tie, how to change a tire, how to check your oil, and stuff like that. But like, that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh my God, I love that. Shout out to you. I don't know.
Oh, YouTube.
I'm gonna have to find his thing. So like, but I was like, wow, that is so cute. Because it's a lot of things. I remember my tire going flat and being on the side of the road. I had to call my uncle, and my man was with me. He didn't know. And that's like no fault to him. He just didn't know. Like, that's not something that he was taught.
Right.
Not my current man. Because I clarify.
Oh, okay then.
My tire just went flat. my tire just went flat. Look.
No, it's for real.
A couple weeks ago.
He jumped on that.
Wow. I came to the house and he brought the car back in the yard. I was like, whatever you gotta do. Wow. Love him. Ooh. I get ooh.
Anyway, listen, y'all, but that's what it's supposed to be like. The feeling that you have when we even speak about Kenny, I love that, and I just want to even put this out for me and all the women out there. That man is possible. Okay, everything that you be thinking that men don't do, they do it.
They do it,
and I see my brother do it gracefully.
They do it.
They do it.
And I mean, again, just going back to the time in my life that he came in, just for you saying graceful, y'all.
You could have
tried
that man away.
There are moments where it's just kind of like, you want me? Like, he was so graceful, like, during that time of what I was going through. Like, there was no point in time where he like down talked what I had going on, downplayed me. Like, he was so supportive, and just like, he was like, I say this all the time, like, God very much sent him to me when I needed him.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, one of his friends messaged me the other day and was like, oh, you should have gave him a chance, when y'all was in high school, blah, blah, blah. And I told him, I said, it wouldn't have been the same.
No.
I would not have appreciated him as much as I do now if I had dated him in high school. I would not have.
Because don't get me wrong, the reason why when we first talked about it, I kept saying like, give him a chance, give him a chance, because it's Kenny, and Kenny has always had such a good heart and everything. But we were completely different people in high school.
Absolutely.
Completely different people. And I just know that, I don't know, for some reason, I just felt it that it could be a good thing, because Kenny has always just been that gentleman, respectful, laid back, and he's fun. And I just knew that, like, when we started talking about just little things that you had experienced, even me was just like, I can't believe you dealt with that. Yeah. I didn't even know that you had experienced half of the things. Yeah. And even just me knowing, like, Kenny could probably change your life.
That's what you said, though, friend. You was like, that man can change your life. I was like, for real? For real. He did. He did. He really and truly
did. Because as a friend, he's a great friend.
Yeah.
So, and just his upbringing and everything, too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at his dad. Love him.
Fawn B. Fawn B and Alvin Willis, y'all did a fantastic job.
I'm telling you.
I love that man.
I didn't see nothing wrong from the jump. Get on that. And then the man had done cross Q-Dog. Wow. Get it? Show her something. Listen, show her why you a dog.
Please stop that.
So I have a question for you. What are some new traditions that you want to bring into, I guess you could say, your new family? So now that you are in a relationship, but I also have like what I want to bring into when my family is created. So what are some new things that you want to like maybe start? Anything.
I would say, I wouldn't even say start. I would maybe say start back.
Okay.
With my family, because I feel like when I was younger, my family used to do a lot of things. Like we had all the cookouts, all the reunions, like, all the holidays and different stuff like that. And I think that's something that I want to start back with my new family. Just to give them something to look forward to. Like, I do have my dreams of like being that house. Like, I want to be that house that like my kids' friends can come to, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want the holidays to holiday, honey. Yes. Like, I want all the decorations, I want all the food, I want all the fun, like, and I just want to be that house where like the kids can come, they feel safe, you know what I'm saying? Like, from football season to Halloween to Christmas, Thanksgiving, 4th of July, like whatever. Like, I want to bring that back, because I feel like we kind of gotten to a point, like family wise, where we don't get together like we used to. Don't, like, and people say this all the time, and it's so true. Don't let the only time you get with your family be a funeral. Like,
stop that.
Please.
Stop that.
So I definitely like, I want to do that. I want the cousins to come over and stay the night. Lennon already be talking about, he was like, Mom, I just want to have a sleepover with like me and my friends.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, at first in my mind, I was like,
because when you were growing up, did your mama let you spend the night at people's house?
Like my family house or my friend's house?
Either.
I think I only spent the night at a friend's house like a couple times, and it was the same friend. But my mama was very much like,
you ain't going over them folks'
I need to talk to her mama.
Yeah.
Where you gonna be at? Let me see what's going on. You wasn't just finna be going like, hey, I'm gonna stay tonight at Emily's. Mm-mm. Like, it wasn't happening. Mm-mm. Period. She don't know you. It's a no.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm, you have that, them parents that always be like, they can come over here.
Right. And thank you. Because just like you said, I'm trying to have a sleepover house. Right.
They can come over here, but you're not going over there. But, and then to something else, and no shade to my mom, but when I was in school, like I ain't do no sports or nothing. Not a sporty girl. But I was in the band, y'all, and marching band and flag line stuff like that. And that was a really big thing for me. And I can count on my hand how many games my mom came to.
Yeah.
Now my sister, she's in high school and she does flag football, she does track, she does basketball, and my mom has actively like shown more interest in that and like shows up to her games, and I feel like that's a big thing.
Yeah.
And it's something that I missed out on. Like as a kid, I would have liked to like see more support in that. And so now I try to do that for Landon's the only one that's, you know, like in sports right now. So I definitely try to make sure like if I do miss a game, I ain't missing that many. Like I'm out there, I'm like showing him like, you know, I'm here for you, like we cheering you on regardless, win or lose. So like that's something that I also am really big on.
I love that. I can definitely agree with a lot of those. The new traditions that I mainly want to bring in, just like kind of what you said, I just really want to have togetherness. I want to show togetherness. One of the major things that I had as a kid, my family didn't sit at the table and eat. Like we never.
That's a thing.
We never sat at a table and like everybody ate. It was always just it was food on the stove. You eat when you eat. And it wasn't that like people just couldn't stand each other. It was just that everybody was working. By the time like I would come home from school, once I got to a certain age where I could really be at home by myself, like I was at home by myself until everybody came home. And it was like I spent a lot of days eating alone. I spent a lot of days like eating, doing my homework, and just leaving the house and going outside to play with my cousins just to feel something.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was the only child for a long time. For the people that don't know, I have a younger brother. He came 13 years later, so we have a huge age gap.
That is also something that we have in common, y'all. Yes. Because how old is Paxton now?
14.
Yeah, and Trinity's 16. Yeah. So, and we
yeah. Yeah. Listen, like, my kids.
I don't even know why our mamas did that.
Listen, huge age gap. So it's just like I kind of feel the same. Yeah. You know how? Because I be telling my mama, shout out to my mom. I be like, the Medicaid babies and the Blue Cross Blue Shield babies are not the same.
Two different things.
Okay? They are not the same.
I'm a Medicaid baby. My sister is a Blue Cross Blue Shield baby. They do not get the same treatment. Okay.
Wow, they mama be there. Everywhere.
Hey, my mama, she be getting so turned up on me sometimes. She be like, Kayla.
I was there.
Like, Kayla. I be like, Mama, you did not do that for me. You would have never said that I could such and such and such.
But you know, it's like, and that's something that me and my mom talk about often now. Once I got older, I started looking at my mom as a woman other than my mother.
Yeah.
And I started to understand why certain things were different.
Yeah.
And now, you know, when I see her, like my mom, she's a go-getter.
She's
a go-getter
she is.
Sure. Like
she is
grinds, but she does it because she take care of us.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait to be able to repay her because I understand why she missed out on so much.
Absolutely.
I understand why now, you know, she does everything that she does because she tries to make time to have that free time to be present. And, you know, there's a lot of days that I think that when I grew up, I kind of resented a lot of my childhood moments and put that pressure on my mom.
Yeah.
Because when I first went off to college, like, I was not answering the phone for nobody at home. Girl, I'm rebellious. Rebellious. But it wasn't like I don't care about y'all. I was just like, silence the noise from at home. Like, I don't, like, that life, I was trying to wash it away and just start something new. But that's when I needed my mom the most.
Yeah.
Like, the absolute most.
And I say this a lot, too, for me and my mom, because growing up, me and my mom, like, I feel like I had the same thing, sort of like that resentment there, because she was always working. She had this many jobs. And I grew up being a lot closer to my grandma than I was with my mom. Like, I would cry and scream, I want to go with my grandma, because my grandma was able to spend that time with me. Like, I would go with her places. Like, we would go shopping together. We would go do all these things together. And my mom would just be at work. And I would just be like, you know, like, she don't want to do anything with me. She don't want to, you know what I'm saying? And so I think I had a lot of resentment there as well. And me and my mom would get into it all the time. Like, we would bump heads so much when I was younger and, you know, like, living with her or whatever. But I say this all the time. Me and my mama, we do fantastic apart. Like, now that she stay in her house and I stay in mine, love that girl.
But sometimes that's what you need. And a lot of times me and my mom's dynamic is listen, we're gonna have to get a mom episode so we can get, you know, a little deeper into everything.
Y'all.
But if y'all know. But she, like I was saying, she really was who I needed the most. And, you know, our story is so similar, so that once I became an adult, I needed her, like, expertise. Because I'm just like, wow, when MJ dad passed away, I didn't know who to turn to but my mama. Because my mom experienced that at a very young age, having me. Praise God that I was able to at least get a little time with my dad. But MJ got nothing. MJ never even got to meet him.
Right.
And, you know, I was up in college trying to do something different with my life, was trying to start a whole new life. I had found the relationship. I was happy. And everything just came crashing down. And my mom, I'm talking about foot on the gas support. Like, even when I was pushing her away, because I was telling her, I'm not coming home. I was like, I'm going to do this alone. I'm going to get it together. I'm going to finish school. I'm going to have this baby. She said, no, you're not. I'm coming up there. I like literally told her, I said, I'm not coming home. Girl, my whole family came up there where the U-Haul said, start packing.
Get your stuff. Wow. I feel it though, because I think as we get older and us being young women ourselves, like, we start and also having kids, like, you start to see those things like, dang, like, this is what my mama was talking about, you know, like, this is what. And I talk to my mama every day. Okay. If I don't do nothing else, I'm gonna get on Keisha's nerves. Call her at work. Good, what you doing? She be like, Kayla, working. What do you want?
What do you want?
What do you need now? You know? But I have to. And if I don't call her, you better guarantee she is dialing my number like, I ain't talking to you today. Girl, what you doing?
Need that though.
Like, me and my mama, we talk, honey. We probably be talking about y'all. No, I'm just playing. But we talk, like, you know, and I love that. I get that now. I may not have gotten in the past what I felt like I needed then, but, like, the relationship that we have now, like, I don't play about Keisha. Period.
And I think we needed to experience that to know how to be a mother differently, or how to connect with our mothers now. And that's why I say, like, togetherness is so major for me. Because I don't want my kids to feel like they're in an empty home.
Right.
You know, I want them to feel like, okay, I'm gonna see my mama at least by dinner. Even if she had a busy day today, you know. And I want to do, like, more family activities, game nights, and, you know, all of that.
Trips,
like the holidays, you know, do trips, I want to even be the wife and the mom that decorates every season in the house.
Absolutely.
Even if I have a little pumpkin, you know, it's a ball. You know, I want to.
I haven't gotten there yet, but I do want to be that mom. But one thing I'm gonna change that door sign. I got a door sign for every season.
See, and that's something.
That's my start.
Yes.
I'm trying to get to that moment where you walk in my house, you be like, girl, it is fall in here.
Girl.
It is Christmas in here. I ain't got there yet. But that door sign gonna be changed. Right now, it's not fall without football. Okay?
Listen.
We get somewhere.
I'm telling you, when I get my family together, when I have my home, it's gonna be spooky season. I'm talking about it's
Don't
gonna
make
be
it too scary. I'm not coming.
Listen, just gonna spider webs like scary stuff. It's gonna be real nice, you know. But
like
those are the things that I really like. Even watched on TV and was like, man, I wish I would have had that.
Yes.
You know, like,
yes.
But it's not that I don't feel like I can. It's just time for me to start those new traditions. Yeah. And so those are a lot of, different things that I want. And I just really pray that God blesses me with that 2-parent home.
And He is. Period.
Ooh. Because when the Lord sends me that man, I'm going to love
that. Oh my God. If God don't do it, it won't get done. He going to do that. Because at the end of the day, He knows like the desires of your heart. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day. Mm-hmm. And a lot of y'all have not because y'all ask not. Tell that man what you want. That little song, Jesus is on the main line.
Tell him what you want.
Seriously. Mm-hmm. Tell him. I do that all the time. I be like,
listen.
And y'all be thinking it have to be real fancy. Y'all be seeing these people at church be praying like, dear God, like, I get it. I talk to God like I talk to Keela. I be like, look,
girl,
it is me again. Help.
And this I just like a child. I be like, Lord, I know I'm getting on your nerve when I say this. And you know what? At this
Help
point,
me.
I'm getting tired of repeating it to you. But we're gonna start. You know what? We're right here, family. Because listen, my girl, she's been blessed. Okay, but to my girls, my single girls, all the single ladies, bring it in. Listen. I'm going to say this from the bottom of my heart, and I mean this in such a serious, serious way, because this is something that I have learned, and I'm going to pass it over to you guys as well. Even if you are praying for that somebody, make room for that somebody, because that's where I have messed up. I probably could have found my person years ago. It has been 7 going to 8 years, but I have not been prepared for that person. I have not made room for that person. Make sure that you are allowing God to give you that person in the space of wherever you're, because it don't matter where you are. It don't matter how many kids you have, what kind of job you have. I don't care if you live with your mama. I don't care what it is. God can bless you with whatever that it is, but you have to make room for it. And making room starts with you believing that you are worthy to having it. All right, y'all. So we have a new segment that we're going to bring in to the show. We have 2 new ones. So the first one that we're going to get into is All That Chatter. So All That Chatter is a segment where we're going to talk about like what's being talked about the most right now, whether it's in celebrity, local, or just news, like what is really hot right now. So what is all that chatter? What y'all been chattering about? And the All That Chatter topic of this week, we're actually going to pay some respect to Rich Homie Quan. It has went everywhere. I mean, such an impact. Rest in peace to Rich Homie Quan. It still feels so weird saying that. And I just want to say on my part, wow, Rich Homie Quan carried me from senior year high school, freshman year.
Woo!
I had a little Chevy Aveo, a little white look.
I remember that car.
Girl,
I remember that car.
Investments were being played maybe like 3 times a day.
Y'all,
I could know that whole song.
If y'all went on Rich Homie, what year was it? 2014? Mm-hmm. 2014, 2015, Rich Homie.
Bumping.
Baby.
He was one of the first rappers that's on Spinrilla or live mixtapes for me that I could listen to a mixtape straight through.
All the way through.
No skips.
No skips. Okay, so next we're going to move into a new game that we have added to the podcast, and it's called Take It or Leave It. And Keela is going to go first. So basically, what is it? Like you just make a statement.
Yes.
And
so if you were like, it's kind of like a this or that type thing. So what would you take? Would you take that or leave it? You have your different topics and you just choose take it or leave it.
If you are ever a guest on this show, yes, be prepared because you will play this game.
So, first question for you.
Okay.
Take it or leave it. Small weddings.
I would say take it.
Okay.
But also where I'm at right now, leave it.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have ever had an issue with a small wedding. However, my man has a huge family and a lot of friends. Yeah. So at this point, leave it. Leave it. It's got to be big. Mm-hmm. It has got to be big. Really?
I ain't gonna lie. For me, I would take it. Personally, I have dreams of eloping.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
I don't. It's not just a. How can I say? It's not that I don't want the wedding. I mean, okay, but I just really want to love and celebrate a person so intimately.
Yeah.
To where like I just feel that, I know that, and I don't feel like I got to show it to
nobody. I'm in agreement though. I feel like we definitely have the same answer on that one. I love country life. Like I love country living. I love right now I live in the country. Okay. I love that my kids have a yard that they can go out and play, run around, ride their bikes. Like, and we've lived like in Auburn before, now that it's kind of become more city like, and they weren't able to do that. The houses are like right on the road and this and that. So I think my main thing is like, I don't mind driving to get to whatever. I want to be close enough so that when I don't want to drive, I right now I can't get my groceries delivered.
Nope.
I can't DoorDash.
Nope.
There's no Uber Eats for me.
No, man.
Like if I get hungry, you got to go get it. I should be thin because I don't want to get up. Ugh. But so I want the land so that it feels very country like.
Far away from family or close to family?
I think for me this ties into city and country. Far enough but close enough.
Yeah.
I don't want to be close enough that you can look through my back window and be like,
she at home.
Let me go over there.
No. I've always said like I want to be, like you said, close, but not too close.
Yeah.
At least by 2 hours.
Yeah.
Or at least by 3 or 4. Well, you guys, we are coming towards the end of the show. And of course, before we leave, we have to do our last segment. And that is pause and praise before we wrap up and get on up out of here. So today, what is your pause and praise before we leave?
I think for me today, my pause and praise is just gonna be, I'm just thanking God for life itself in this moment. So many things are going on, so many things are going wrong. It's been so many different stories of shootings, overdoses, suicides, just different things. And I just thank God for life, for me, for my family, for my friends. It's a blessing right now. Like every day, at this point in time, every day that you wake up is truly a blessing.
Right.
For real.
I love that. My pause and praise right now would be, I'm thanking God for allowing me to be more open and vulnerable. That's something that I've always been like an open book, but I've always been closed in on a lot of things. But I thank God that this is helping me unleash a lot of things, open up a lot of doors. Even just us asking you guys about different topics. Even in the beginning, I was like, I don't know if I want to talk about it.
She did say that. I said that's what the people voted on.
But that's what y'all voted. But that allows me and helps me, just bring out the other side of me of being vulnerable. So love that for us. And we just want to say thank you guys for tuning in again. to another episode of Be So For Real. Okay, y'all have tuned in with us. We hope that you love this episode. Don't forget to drop and leave a comment, like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on all of the social medias down below. We're gonna start shouting y'all out. So shout out to the cousin right here below with y'all comment. Thank you guys so much. We love y'all. Be So For Real. We'll be back again very soon. Tap in with us. Until next time.
Bye. Please get y'all some friends that pray. Ooh.
Love you. Bye.
And that's that on that. Okay. Get you some friends that pray.
I love you. Love you.
Love you. Mean it.